Hi everyone, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. The guy behind the camera for today's show's name is Juanma. Juanma is behind the camera, so anyone who wants a personal shout out from Juanma, this is the show to do it. He will be giving personal shout outs all show long to anyone within reason. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to have like a fucking line of 25 people asking for a shout out for Juanma, but you know, 3 or 4 might be doable, right, Juanma?
Hey, yo, yeah, sure, man.
Classic clip from Juanma to start off the show. Things are going okay, I think. I made a lot of bets in MLB today. I'm not sure how many I want to give because, as you all know, regular viewers of the show know, I am extremely risk averse when it comes to giving out picks publicly in this show, which obviously being risk averse is not the way to win in anything in life, and especially not sports betting. And that's why my leans and my personal accounts are much better overall than my actual picks in this show. But there's no way to avoid being risk averse, Jim. You know what I'm saying? Except to extract yourself from the situation. I mean, if I stopped doing videos, then I wouldn't have to worry about being risk averse in picks I give out in videos. But I love doing videos, so you know what I'm saying, Jim?
I do know what you're saying, but
yeah.
We're off to a nice start in MLB.
Yeah, we are off to a nice start. I'm actually positive in this show in MLB, and on my personal accounts, I'm up very, very nicely. I did see that you had a play on the White Sox on the run line today. How's that doing? They were up by 1 recently.
You mean the Rays?
Oh, yeah, the Rays. That's what I mean. Jim.
Yeah, no, it's not looking great.
No?
It's looking bad. There was a nice chance to get that 6th run across the board last inning, but not so good, not so nice of a start here. But
no?
But I got some big plays, man. I got some big dogs on the way, man. I'll be just
okay.
fine.
Very nice. Let me just I'm a little bit late here to check in the comments. Let me just pop out the chat. I think that everyone is still unblocked, right? What's your first comment of the day that you're seeing there?
I got Scotty Rock.
Scotty Rock forever, and that is Cap Fam. What it do, Scotty Rock forever. Shout out to Scotty Rock forever. Shout out to Paulo Marquez from Portugal, who gave the first comment in the morning show saying that Jim and I are gods in the earth. Gods from inside of the earth. Not gods who live on the earth, but who live inside. But we appreciate the sentiment that we're gods. We definitely appreciate that, Paulo Marquez. Not sure where he got the idea that we live underground, but we do live above ground. And shout out to Paulo Marquez. Shout out to Scotty Rock forever. And shout out to Pate Latte and Jay Sandercock and Elio Rodriguez. Everyone's excited for Juanma. All right, let's see. What can we do here, Jimmy the Bag? Should we get some? And Annie Marat says, how about you just grow some balls, Pete? Annie Marat, I'm trying, okay? That's what I'm trying to do. It's not easier said than done. You know what I'm saying?
Tony Soprano has graced us.
Oh.
He's putting $10,000 on the Devils to win the series.
Wow.
I like that. I like that play. That's exciting.
I mean, certainly, based on from a value perspective, that was certainly the I would say the strongest opinion in the show in the morning show. People saying that the Devils had a real shot at upending Tampa Bay, except for Cody Valentine, who predicted Tampa Bay in 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony Soprano, if he shopped around, probably got close to 3-1. At Heritage, it was plus 250.
Yeah, it's nice spots.
Mm-hmm.
Nice spots. I'm not entirely sure exactly what I'm going to do, but if I like the Devils in this series, I'm just going to take them individually every game.
Yeah, that might be the way to go, because then, you got to figure. I would say that. I mean, maybe you do. I mean, obviously, there's major question marks surrounding Tampa Bay right now, but it wouldn't be a massive shock if they suddenly come in and they're a different team than what we saw at the end of the regular season, right?
It would not be a massive shock at all. No, you're right. You're right. And then if you bet every game individually, you could lose 4-2 like Kobe expects it and still make a slight profit, depending if they do sneak in a road win.
Yeah. Justin Sushi says Tony Soprano has the biggest balls on the planet. Not really. I think he just has the biggest bankroll in chat. I mean, if you got $1 million bankroll, betting $10,000 on a bet is completely warranted, Jim. You know what we're going to do one of these days, maybe after the NHL season? We'll do a little Kelly example, and we'll take your picks and bets from the NHL season, and we'll go back and say, all right, if Jimmy the Bag knew that this is how he was going to do at the beginning of the season, and he had X bankroll, this is exactly, according to Kelly, how much he should have bet on every game. That'll be interesting, right?
That would be interesting,
to see, exactly how much you should be getting based on certain edges and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, as far as when it comes to NHL playoffs, when it comes to playoffs in general, I feel like you're right. Like if I was going to bet on the Devils to win the series, I would probably do it exactly what you said. I would start off just like, betting them every game. And if the series turns out the way I was expecting it to bet, I'd probably wind up making the same amount of money. Whereas if all of a sudden something unexpected happens with either team, you can sort of switch courses mid-series. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah, and if you lose in 7 games, you're a big winner.
Right. That's
if
also
you lose
true.
in 6 games, you're a winner.
Right.
And if you lose in 5 games, then you didn't lose as much as you would have.
And you have the opportunity to just change your opinion in the middle of the series, which is something that I do all the time. But yeah, Elio Rodriguez saying it's a hell of a payout. About 3 to 1. Maybe 2.5 to 1, which is not a massive payout. But I guess if Tampa Bay doesn't fix something, then there's clearly value there, right, Jim?
Vasilevsky is the question mark.
Yeah.
He was such a stud all year, and you had a ton of faith in him and confidence in him, and then something happened about 2 months ago where he was just not to be trusted. And in the games that they needed to win and make statements, their offense would bail them out, and it wasn't their strong goaltending. They made the changes. They picked up McDonough. They looked to be big additions on defense didn't turn out to be.
All right. Elio Rodriguez saying MLB, please. And King Rail says, I got $5 on the Knights to win the series. Wish me luck. We're wishing you luck. King Rail, $5 on the Knights to win this series. I love those $5 bets. That's about what my bet size is as well. Let's see what else we have. And T. Dot says, no way Devils beat Tampa Bay. I'd be shocked. I mean, the market's pricing them as a big favorite here. They are I guess the market is putting them at about 70%-ish to win the series. So there you go. Tony Soprano says, Devils, Devils, Devils. Listen to Tony Soprano. We are certainly listening to you, Tony Soprano, and I think a lot of people are agreeing with you. Okay, Elio Rodriguez wants us to get to MLB. Let's jump in and let's jump into MLB. Of course, it's a 6 o'clock game, which I didn't even bother getting to because we got to it in the morning show. Obviously, you have a massive favorite line here with Kluber and Liriano. Probably, not that good, but definitely a question mark. And the game's a pass from you. You didn't have any play on that one, Jim.
Didn't have a play on it. The Indians' bats are just too quiet for me to take Kluber on the run line, which is how I saw the only play. And if you can't trust the bats, you can't take a run line.
And didn't he already lose both of his starts this year already?
The team lost both of them.
The team lost, that's what I mean.
Yeah. He went 0-1 in them. But yeah, it just,
Juanma already waving his head just after not even 10 minutes.
It's because this is really, really nice. The guy called Luis Fernando Esquinca.
Okay, but Esquinza.
I think it's Esquinca. But okay. Jimmy and Pete, I got you covered with the Loshak and the Back Show music intro where I can send it to you guys.
Let's go. We got it. We got to have some intro music. We got to have some theme show.
Luis, send it to me. Send it to me, man. You just right click it. I click where it says delete. And that will be sent it directly to me.
I don't know if it will.
Wait, what did he say? You right-click it, and then you say something about delete, and it will send it directly to Juanma.
It doesn't sound like
I know.
Get to him.
Color me skeptical, Juanma. Color me skeptical.
I don't think it'll get to him somehow.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to give it a shot, if you understood that and you want to give it a shot, go for it. We would love to have some theme music. That shit would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, you could send it to me on Twitter as well. I won't right-click delete.
Yes.
I will listen to it.
It was a joke, man. It was a joke.
Oh, it was a joke?
I thought it was a good one.
It was a joke?
Yeah.
That was a joke?
It was.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't get the joke, but Juanma's definitely operating on a different level than all of us. So, thank you for the joke, Juanma. Thank you for the presence, Juanma, and I'm sure we'll have more Juanma action for the rest of the show. Let's get to some MLB.
One quick comment here, not just before we finish off the MLB, is Ulysses Hayes saying, Bags, you better get on those Knights. And I tell you what, Ulysses, under zero circumstances will I get behind these Vegas Knights in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Under zero circumstances. I'm not sure I know that taking the Kings at plus 115 is not enough value, so I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to handle it. But
all right, listen, we have a scheduled segment. I'm so excited for the NHL. I understand that, but there is a segment specifically indicated for NHL. And now let's officially cut off NHL talk and let's start with MLB. All right, but also, yes, we would love to have some theme music to play at the beginning of the show. That would be freaking awesome, Jim. Let's try to make that happen one way or another. How about that, Jim?
Yeah, man. We'll just keep it away from Juanma.
Yeah. Yes. All right, so Cincinnati, Philly. I did give Philly in the morning as an official pick at -1. That line has gone up about 10 cents or about 5 cents since I gave it out. When I gave it out, no, it was about -122 at the Greek. Best line now would be -132. And I was also, I forgot to mention it, wanted to maybe give the Cincinnati team total under. I bet that one at 4.5, and now it's down to 4. So maybe I'll give it What do you have to say about that game, Jim?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Phillies on the run line.
You are? Okay.
I think this is a Cody Reed knows that if he doesn't pitch well, he's back in the minors. He's getting one chance. They have a guy coming off the DL very, very soon who's going to take his spot unless he throws a great start. And he's just never done that in his career. Why would he do it now? Reds have the worst ERA in the league at 6.13. Cody Reed, 22 major league appearances, 11 starts, 1-8, 6.75 ERA, 1.776 WHIP. Reds are not hitting either. Suarez just fractured his thumb. Schebler is still out with the elbow injury. They look like they're in a tough spot. Phillies were terrible against lefties last year, so it's not the most confident spot. Hoskins looks good. Lively looked good enough against the Mets in New York. And I think this is a spot where I'm comfortable. I could get a plus 150 earlier when I sent it in. I don't know what I'd get now. But
now it's plus 155 at Intertops and a whole bunch of other places. Plus 155 in the morning. I got it at 165. I took the -1 line, of course. And yeah, that is definitely a very interesting play. I was thinking also of giving the Cincinnati team total under. I did bet it when it was 4.5, and maybe a shot with the second half under on this one, and I would be leaning under as well. Just very quickly, apparently, Wanma, I think what he did there was he made a techie nerd joke that other techie-ish, nerdish guys actually appreciated. Plus Money says, laughing my ass off in caps. Wanma just told this dude to delete his whole account. That was a good joke, Wanma. It's just me and Jim are too technically unsavvy to appreciate it. But Wanma, people did appreciate that joke. People got it, and they were laughing their ass off. Very nice, Wanma.
It actually was, man. I told you.
Yeah, Wanma is a sharp guy, techie guy. Nerdy techie type guy. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Let's move on. Toronto, Baltimore. That's going to be a pass for me. Bundy, I think, is pretty impressive. J.A. Happ in this start, I think is probably more likely not to have a nice start. Wouldn't be surprised if this game goes under. I would have a lean to the under on this one, but I'm going to pass on it. You have a pick on that one, Jim?
I couldn't get the right line. I would have taken the under in the morning very early. But at this point, the way it sounds, I'm not going to take it. I do agree. I think this will be a good pitching matchup. Bundy looks like an ace so far. 13 innings, 10 hits, 1 run, 15 Ks, 3 walks. Pitched 20 innings in spring and looked bad, but turned it on as soon as the season started. He's been dominant against Toronto in his career. 0.76 ERA in 7 appearances. J. Happ has not looked very good through his first 2 starts, but I think he will continue to improve. Orioles hit lefties very hard last year, and both teams are hitting the ball hard early this year. Orioles not quite as much as the Jays. But yeah, I'm off this game.
Okay, I'm off it too. And you know what else I'm realizing? Wanma actually delivered that joke really well, because at the end he said, and it will send it right to me. He just set it up like that. It was very nicely delivered.
Yeah, man.
We just didn't get it, Jimmy the Bag. All right, then we got Atlanta and Washington. I gave Atlanta on the second half at plus 130 as an official play here. I've been cashing with Atlanta second halves recently. This is in a great spot for that, but I'm not sure. Scherzer might go the distance, and in which case, if he throws a 9-inning shutout or 1-run start, that'll be a loser. That was a borderline play for me, but at plus 130, I decided to give it, and I bet it. That's the only play for me on that game. What else do you like? Anything on this one, Jim? Atlanta, Washington?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Braves here, full game on the money line. I just at this point with the Nationals, I said when the season started, and I was surprised the first few games that the Nationals were hitting, because they were by far the worst team this spring offensively. I was shocked that they only gave Zimmerman 2 at-bats. I imagined that it would hurt them, and it didn't look like it did in the beginning. Now it certainly does. Teheran was a beast on the road last year. Why would it be any different? He's got lit up the last 2 starts. Both teams have just seen these pitchers and hit them hard. With everything set up the way it is, yes, Scherzer is an absolute ace, but I think I'm getting a ton of value here. Braves have the #1 offense in the league so far, 285, 840 OPS. Nationals have lost 3 straight, gone cold. Scherzer just got touched by this team. Bryce Harper's the only one hitting. They desperately miss Daniel Murphy. I see this as a risk that I have to take, and I'm on the Braves money line.
All right, let me find the best line right now. Let me find the best line here. Atlanta, the best money line shopping around. Bet Online has plus 212, so we can give you that one. Atlanta money line. Sorry, plus 221, not 212, plus 221.
Good.
Sorry, plus 221. Bet Online, plus 221. Other places have a plus 220. I'm going to take Atlanta on the -1 line. And this is another spot where there might be, if Scherzer gets hit, he probably gets hit, a little bit harder than expected. And or if Atlanta wins this one late, they probably win it big. The alternative run line might be interesting. I'm sure Bet365 has a better line than what Pinnacle has. Pinnacle has plus 375.
I don't know if they would, because Bet365 only gave me plus 195 on this run line.
Yes, that's right. I'm seeing it right now. The feed is up here, plus 195.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could check, but I would say it's unlikely.
Jim, what the fuck are you doing, man? Bet365 has by far the worst line on Atlanta here of the entire board.
Yeah, I mean, what I don't have an option at this point.
Jim, the second worst line is Intertops at plus 210.
But it's funny because their alternative run line's plus 390.
Right, and that's why you got to have multiple outs. Perfect example here. Even on the same game, a book can have wildly different. One book can have the best line on something, and one book could have the worst line on something else on the same game. But yes, Bet365, I'm seeing right now, plus 195. Everyone else has 220, 215, and Bet Online has plus 221. All right, let's move on.
People supporting the play online here, though. Twatty saying nice pick by Jimmy there. Frank Rizzo saying Braves at plus 221, a lot of value. Mr. Gogster says, why jump off the Braves now? Huge value with it. Richie Cognito saying, nice play, Jimmy. Not sure I'm going to take it, though. Elio Rodriguez says the Braves to win the series at plus 235. Swiatek says it's also a decent spot to fade the Nats on travel and scheduling.
Dan Kelly saying, Pete, Juanma knew that anyone sharp enough to make a music file is sharp enough to get the joke. Ooh, Dan Kelly just nailed me with a shot that hit connected flush on the chin. Nice one, Dan Kelly. It's been a while since I made music files. Dan Kelly, nice one. All right, Milwaukee, St. Louis. Jim took St. Louis on the money line earlier, and what line did you get on that one?
I took him on the -1.5.
Oh, that's right, but it has moved a little bit in your favor. What line? You got 160, right?
I think I got like 153, didn't I? I believe I got.
No, 155, I think.
Oh, that might be it. Sorry.
Here, I have it written down. Oh, no, I ripped it off. All right, so anyway, it does appear like the St. Louis line might have moved. Now, it's right about where it was
I got
in the morning.
153.
Yeah, it's now actually moved, right where it was. There's some 156s available. I'm a believer in McCollis, at least in this start. Chassin, in general, I'm not a believer in him, but maybe a little bit less of a non-believer than in this start than I will be in future starts. And I was also thinking about taking St. Louis on the second half. St. Louis second half under. Both these lineups are very iffy right now. You have St. Louis. Anything you want to add on there, Jim?
No, I'm comfortable with that spot. Exciting to see that Tony has jumped on our alternative dog run line in Coors Field, the great Coors Field fade. Tony's got $1,000 on the pods with us, which is pretty exciting, man. It's catching on.
Yeah, he is, and if it catches on enough, it'll the edge will disappear. But that's okay. You got to get it while the getting's good. I think I'm going to add on the Milwaukee St. Louis second half under, which will be 3.5 -125. I got a bunch of second half plays that I think I'm liking today, and I'm going to go for that one. I'll throw that one on there. St. Louis second half under 3.5 -125. St. Louis second half under 3.5 -125. All right, now let's move on. Mets and Miami. Urena off one good start. I'm not a believer in him going forward, but he might have another solid one here. Syndergaard, some people suggesting that he's a little bit less elite than people were pricing him to start the season. Mets are a massive road favorite here. Tempting to take Miami here. What do you think about this one, Jim? Any plays on this one?
No, I couldn't see. I mean, I think Syndergaard's going to go down. It's going to be warm. He's going to feel good and have a great start. But I don't see the value. I mean, there's no reason for us to think that he's not going to get, let's say he throws 5 innings and gets 10 strikeouts but gets hit hard once or twice and that leaves the yard. It's just not a value spot. I think Syndergaard's going to pitch well. I mean, if I was going to make a move on anything, I would lean towards the under. I thought Urena had a great start last game against a tough team in the Red Sox. I was impressed. After a tough opening day start, he goes 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 7 Ks. You know, he looked good. The Marlins aren't hitting 558 OPS. It's trouble. What is the full game under on it right now?
On the Mets game would be where is it, like 7.5? You know, minus 120.
Yeah, it's not a spot I want. I can't find the value here. Pittsburgh Brew says I'm on Mets under. I get it, but I don't know. Twatty is on the Mets under 7.5 too.
Okay,
so you're in good
hope
company.
you cash. Let's move on. Angels in Texas. Richards against Fister. Fister, you know, not too terrible so far this year. Even though Ohtani is not going to be in the lineup for the Angels, I got to be thinking the Angels with Richards going are probably the play here. And I like the Angels on the second half. I'm definitely going to give them on the second half. What's your take on this game, if any, Jim?
I'm with Melvin Morel. I'm on the Angels run line minus 1.5 here. Now, I do have a tiny bit of concern because Fister seems to step up in certain situations. This is the Angels roster that he couldn't crack last year. He was in the minors for half the year. He had to get let out of his contract so that the Red Sox picked him up. You know, he's always pitched well against the Angels. 3-4, 2.90 ERA, 13 career starts. He's allowed 3 runs or less in 11 of his 13 career starts against Los Angeles, including 8 straight at this point, dating back to June. And he's a character. As much as I fade him as much as possible and act like I don't like him, he is a character guy who steps up and had to step up to continue his major league career. The Angels look extremely strong. I watched Garrett Richards pitch last game. I've got him in the baseball pool. He allowed 2 runs in the first inning. I thought he kept looking better and better as it went on, but did allow 4 walks in 9 Ks. That was the only hit he allowed, was that 2-run home run. Angels are hitting hard, 264, 787 OPS, and I'm on the run minus 1.5
The
line.
Angels minus 1.5 line. Best line we could give you right now would be minus 120, unless you can find something better at Bet365, because the run line is not showing up here in the at SBR odds. But you can find something better than 120, we can give you that one, Jim.
Wow, I'm also considering the team total over for the Angels. I would love if you could maybe take a pick of that. Oh, but sorry, you're saying plus 120.
Plus 120,
yes, not minus 120. Yes, that's what Bet365 is offering.
Okay, let me find the team total here. Let me just quickly look here at Pinnacle. I'm guessing the team total would be 4.5 with not great juice. Let's find it. LA Angels. Where is that one? Oh, it's 5 minus 102 at
5 minus 102.
Yeah, 5 minus 102 at probably some places would have like 4.5 minus 140 or something like that. But
yeah, I got 4.5 minus 145, and that's just not worth the risk for me. And the 5, I'm not going to bother with.
Okay,
so.
I'm going to throw on the Angels second half minus 130. That is the line at Bookmaker and Heritage and other places who have that one. Houston, Minnesota, an interesting game here, right? Lynn, a guy I'm not too high on in general. Verlander might be affected by the weather here, and I would be leaning over. I'd be leaning Minnesota. And I'd be leaning Minnesota on the second half, and maybe a shot with the Minnesota first 5 innings team total over just 1.5. Is Verlander going to be lights out here? Maybe, but maybe not, Jim. What do you think?
I think it's interesting. I mean, we know that he's been in this situation before, pitching with it for Detroit for many years, and I actually was thinking that there'd be less offense with this horrifyingly cold weather. So it can, and I've already bet it. I've already bet the under 8.5. Now I could get 8.5 with my local, but I couldn't get 8.5 like on the SBR.
Yes, right now I'm only seeing, unless again Bet365 is not showing up on SBR odds. I don't know why. It is 8 everywhere, unless Bet365 has 8.5, but everywhere else has 8 right now, Jim.
Yes. Yeah, I'm getting 8.5 here, minus 125.
On the
right
under
here on the under, and yeah, you know what? I'm going to.
Does that have live lines?
Yeah.
Why don't you refresh it?
It just did.
Oh, wow. There you go. Very nice. 8.5 minus 125. You want that one? We definitely can give you that one, Jim.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
You want that one, Jim. All right, Jim's going to take Minnesota under 8.5 minus 125. I was thinking about a shot with the over on this one. I'm not. You're a believer in Verlander in this spot?
I am, but I'm a believer in him throwing 6 innings, not trying to not 9 or 10 Ks.
Right.
Just trying to make quick work of these guys. So I'm not expecting. Yeah, and also I feel like Lance Lynn can be better than he was in that first start. Obviously, he was not a good start, walking too many. You know, his first time pitching for the club. He wants to have a good game. Ziggy Ball saying leaning under, but quite a few people are on the over. And Frank Rizzo says, I love Minnesota tonight. Michael Delzidi says Twins team total over. Elo Rodriguez on Twins to win the series. I'm really much less confident as I was when coming in here. I thought this was a nice spot for me, and now I'm quite concerned with you guys.
All right, well, I'm going to start off. I'm going to take Minnesota on the second half. I'm going to take that one. It's plus 140. I'm going to take that one, Minnesota, on the second half. Other plays I'm leaning towards are the over at 8, and thinking about taking Minnesota on the full game, which would be, about plus 149 at Bookmaker. And then also thinking about maybe getting a little bit cute and taking like the Minnesota team total over or the first 5 innings team total over. As of right now, I'll just take the second half, and I'll think about it a little bit more. Let's move on to Seattle KC. Jimmy the Bag and I both took the under 8 at minus 130 in the morning show. I bet this one on the overnight line. I got 8 minus 108. Nice job, right, Jim?
Great job, yeah.
I'm going to have to start tweeting this shit out on the overnights because these lines definitely move in MLB. And long term, I think I will probably beat the lines that we'll be able to get at in the morning show, even definitely in the evening show. So Jim and I both took under 8 minus 130. That was the line available at Bet365 earlier, and I think I might take Seattle on the second half here as well. I definitely don't want him on the full game. I like Junis a lot. Not sure how deep he'll go, and I'm leaning Seattle on the second half. Probably could be convinced to take KC on the first half, but I just don't like KC's bats at all, Jim.
They are atrocious.
Yeah.
And they know it, and that's a problem,
Yeah.
And you can just see Moustakas just looking different without his best friends in the dugout with him. It's going to be a long season. It took Sal Perez getting hurt for me to take the under for the season for the Royals, and I wish I had it done before because the juice was bad when I ended up making the move. Their bats look bad. I also like Marco Gonzalez a lot moving forward. Not quite as much as Junis. Junis looked very good. But I like Marco's start. I mean, he's not trying to strike people out. He's not trying to do too much. He had an excellent spring. And then he came in through 6 in the third, 0 walks, 2 Ks, 3 earned runs. Now 2 of them were home runs, which is not good. Mariners are hitting 277 with a 760 OPS. They're hitting the ball right now. And the last year the Royals hit lefties okay. And now without Hosmer and Kane, that will not happen. Junis is a stud in the making. Incredible spring training. The 7 scoreless versus Tigers look good. The Royals have a 555 OPS. I'm comfortable to be in the spot with the under here for sure.
All right.
But Twatty's against us. Twatty has Seattle over 7.5.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take, I think if it does go over, it's because of Seattle probably. And I'm going to take Seattle on the second half minus 125. I'm also going to take the second half under on this one, which is going to be 3.5 minus 140. But I will take both of those. And I'm on the full game under as well with Jimmy the Bag. And King Rail says Seattle has a ton of injuries. Can't bet either team. All right. So I'm taking Seattle second half. I'm taking the second half under 3.5 minus 140. And I'm on the full game under with Jimmy the Bag. Right, Jim?
Yeah, that all sounds good. A little comment here from our friend Tony Soprano says, I live for this show every week. The best show on YouTube, Loshak in the Bag, Tony Soprano.
There you go. That's a guy with $1 million fucking bankroll saying that, okay? There you go. The guy with $1 million fucking bankroll, maybe even more, lives for this show. Thank you very much, Tony Soprano, SBR Higher Up, SBR Brass, SBR Ownership, and media executives all over the world. Please take note. Thank you very much. All right. Hako Schofield says, Houston is my low-hanging fruit. I don't know about that one, baby.
It's just too cold.
Yeah.
It's just too cold to trust an offense in that weather. They have a great lineup. And they're playing great baseball, but in these circumstances, you just can't have full faith in an offense.
Jarvis Wilson says, I got to go back to work. I'm on lunch break. Shout out to you, Jarvis Wilson.
Thank you, Jarvis.
We'll see you after your lunch break. Thank you so much. All right. I'm thinking about, people are still talking about that Houston-Minnesota game. I'm thinking about throwing the over on that one, but I got to wait a little bit. Let me just think about it. Now let's move on to San Diego, Colorado. Jimmy the Bag already took San Diego on the reverse run line. He got plus 300 at Bet365. Pinnacle only had a plus 267. Obviously, Clayton Richard, one of these pitch to contact guys who at times can have one of those, 7 innings, 1 run, 3 strikeout type starts. John Gray, a guy with big upside and, is not going to be a stud every time out, but is going to show stud flashes in most of his starts, I think. And this is an interesting one. I would also have a slight lean to the under on this one at 9.5. Jimmy the Bag, how you feeling about this one?
Well, the exciting part of this system is they're bets that I wouldn't normally make. So this isn't a bet I would normally make, especially with how good John Gray throws against San Diego. He's going to face – these guys are facing each other for the second straight outing. He allowed 4 hits and 7 scoreless. John Gray struck out 7 with a walk. He's 5-2 with a 2.15 ERA and 11 career starts versus the Padres. Also 4-0 with a 1.36 ERA in his last 5 starts against the Padres. And these Padres bats just aren't hitting. I mean, they've opened the season 2-8. They've scored 3 or fewer runs in 6 games. Just twice have they scored more than 4. 221 average, 657 OPS. They're getting to see the Rockies, who smashed lefties last year, seeing Richard again. Yeah, I mean, it's it's exciting. That's what's so exciting about Nostra's Coors Field fade, the great Coors Field fade, is that I'm making plays that I wouldn't normally make.
Yeah, it is tempting. It is interesting also that they're both teams are going to be facing these guys for the second time in a row, which is definitely something to take note of all season long. I would have a lean to the under, but I don't think I'm going to give it right now. And I would also have a lean to a San Diego on the second half at a plus 105, but I think I'm going to hold off on that one as well. Let's get to some comments before we get to maybe what I would consider to be the most interesting game on the entire card, which is Arizona-San Francisco. We'll get to that in a second. Let's get some comments, Jim.
Sure.
You know, Jim loves these comments almost as much as I do. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Tune 2K says, hey, Loshak in the bag, what's your take on betting score and no score in first innings? Those can have value. Props can have value, and that's why the totals are lower and the juice is often higher. But if you can identify an edge, that can definitely have value. I don't have time to look into that every day, but they certainly can have value. And if you want to start giving those at some point, Jim, feel free. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I know that they're.
Ron Walsick says, Gray, no joke at home. That is Tony S. says, kiss your grand good. He says, Tony S., kiss your grand goodbye. Gray is one of those pitchers, and he's not the only one who has notably better numbers at Coors than on the road, Jim. You know that, right?
I do, and he has, better numbers than almost all of his colleagues, all of the guys on the staff at home. Yeah, no, he just gets too emotional. And when you play against a team like the Padres, you're not going to get emotional. It's when he's playing teams like the Diamondbacks who lit him up and knocked him out that the emotion. I think he gets hurt when he gets too emotional. It doesn't help him.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. Wait a minute. Wasn't there a game wait, where is the yeah, we already talked about Toronto-Baltimore. People are talking about that. All right, let's see. All right, what else do we have coming here? Twate Latte says, I have a model for first inning. Hit me up. Wow. Guy's sharper than he acts, right, Jim? Guy's a motherfucking model for first inning props.
He's an excellent handicapper.
Wow,
I'm very
nice.
fortunate to get to run with him.
Molecular Ninja loves Arizona here. Bats are better. We will get to that in a second. Frank Rizzo says Baltimore looks good. CC Fitness, I'm on San Diego team total under. Yeah, I'm leaning under, and if Gray has a good game, then that one might be a good play. Let's see. Other comments here. Other comments coming in. Oh, shit. DJ 100 grand says weather doesn't mean anything. And this dude has at least a net worth of at least $100,000, and he's a DJ. And his opinion is weather doesn't mean anything.
DJ 100 grand does a great job. I follow him on Twitter. He's a great capper. Molly Mall's going against the great Coors Field fade. He's on the Rockies run line this evening.
White Guy Video Game says, Loshak still doing low-hanging fruit every day. I mean, I think at some point we will start to... I mean, low-hanging fruit just came out of my mouth and my brain organically. And I feel like, if you feel like something is low-hanging fruit...
yeah, I'll definitely mention it. It's just early in the year right now, and I just don't have the kind of confidence. We saw in NHL that you can simplify situations and find low-hanging fruit. I just think it might be a little too early. I mean,
low-hanging fruit is like when there's some pig starting pitcher who should not be in the majors, but for whatever political or financial reasons, they're keeping him in the majors, and we're just fading him every day. Or if it's just some team like like some team with just a stacked lineup going up against like some Casey Royals type team, and it's just low-hanging fruit to take him on the on the run line. Or if it's like some true stud starting pitcher who's just lights out every day, that can be low-hanging fruit as well. But as of right now, I don't know if I would say that I've seen anything that leans low. Yeah, Twate Latte with his model likes the over, and so does Mally Mal. Seattle game over. Wow.
Yeah, that's. I think these. I just think these are two young pitchers moving in the right direction. And I'm comfortable to back them here.
Ken Peacock says, Baltimore is my only MLB play of the day, fading Happ. My sense is that Happ might be a little bit... I'm not super sold on Baltimore as a team right now in general. Happ is a guy that I'm not super looking to fade right now, although Bundy's great. That might be a great play there, though, Baltimore. Why didn't you take that one, Jim?
The same reason. I expect Happ to throw a nice game here. And Bundy's had the Jays numbers. These are just two teams that are winning baseball games right now, and what is the line? Like, what was the value there? If I was
just minus 115 or something like that, a low line. Sean Robertson saying liking team total over for the Twins. Mohammed Joma says Astros bats go off tonight. Normel says Twins have good value. So some people seeing value with the Twins, other people seeing a big offensive explosion from the Astros. Ron Walsek says fading the Twins bullpen, doesn't like the full Twins bullpen. And Mitchell Chagas says Twins Astros is sharp. Okay. Jimmy the Bag is on the under on that one. I was thinking about taking the over on that one. Taco Schofield says Houston will win easy money. Frank Rizzo says, I love Minnesota tonight. So there you go.
Yeah.
Conflicting opinions. Taco Schofield, easy money with Houston. Frank Rizzo loves Minnesota. Doesn't just like it, loves it. And then Michael Del Ziti, shout out to Michael Del Ziti, returns Twins team total over.
Yeah, and that's what you were thinking.
That's what I was thinking about. If if maybe what's his name?
I don't think Verlander is in a spot where that he's not experienced many times in Detroit.
Mark R says, new viewer, loving the show. Thank you so much, Mark R. Mark R, please be a regular viewer and comment. Please, Mark R. Mark R, I'm fucking begging you. I'm begging. Do I beg for viewers? Yes, I beg for viewers. I beg millennials to approve of me. New viewers, I beg them to stay. Absolutely. I'm not above doing that. All right, let's see. Michael Del Ziti says Fister's going to meet a pocket-emptying bozo and fist them after the game. Nice inside joke comment there from Michael Del Ziti. All right, let's move on to Arizona and San Francisco. San Francisco, I think, has some issues with their lineup right now, and I just see a pretty big starting pitching discrepancy here favoring Arizona. I was definitely leaning under on this one, leaning second half under, and leaning Arizona on the first 5 innings. If San Francisco somehow gets a win here in the first 5 innings, I'd only be losing a unit and a quarter, and I think that's okay. What's your take on this game, Jim?
I think that Holland is not the guy that we watched last year, at least right now. And I know he comes out, 5 innings, 3 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, 4 Ks. Not a great start. But last year, he was an automatic fade to any team that could hit lefties, even average. 6.20 ERA, 1.71 whip. He was terrible. But he looked good this spring, and he looked different, too. He 23 Ks in 20 innings. I mean, that's just not something that you expect from a guy like him. And the D-backs were so bad at hitting lefties last year. Combining those things, it makes me uncomfortable to take Arizona. Now, I see the play, and the only play would be to take Arizona on the -1.5, and I'm not going to do that. I just now Zach Godley looked great. He outpitched Kershaw. He's a guy that you can trust and believe in. He's faced the Giants 4 times, never in San Francisco. And he's got lit up by the Giants, 1-1, 7.84 ERA. I get it. I really get the play on the Diamondbacks. And the line you're getting is not bad.
No, first 5 innings, -124,
No, that's not a bad line. I just think Holland is not the auto fade that he was last year yet. And I said that, and I was wrong with guys like Shields and Zimmerman. I mean, they were clearly the automatic fade again. But Holland, seeing him in the spring with the new team with a little bit of hope, I'm just going to wait before I make him a auto fade.
All right, well, I'm going to take the under and the full game and the second half under on this one. And if I lose both, I'll lose them. But I am going to take the San Francisco game under, and Heritage is still hanging in 8 -115. I'm going to take the San Francisco game under 8 -115, and I'm going to take the second half under, which will be 3.5 -140. 3.5 -140. Yeah, this could be. I could lose both those, but I like Godley. I'm a believer in Godley. I think you're right about Holland. I'm just not sure. It'll be a little bit frustrating if Arizona wins the first 5 innings like 2-1 or 2-zip or something like that. It's very tempting to take Godley here with his stuff. He has great stuff in a pitcher's park, and you're only going to have to lay -124 to take him on the first 5 innings. That is very tempting.
It's very tempting, and it might really be kind of a low-hanging situation because I love the way Zach Godley pitched against the Dodgers. Yeah. He wasn't trying to do too much. He wasn't trying to rack up double-digit Ks. He only got 3 Ks, but he kept his pitch count down. He mowed through the lineup with ease. Elio Rodriguez says, I like Giants team total over.
Wow. Okay. All right. Very interesting. Juan was waving.
Paulo Marquez, SBR should give $10 for Jim, $10 for Pete, and $10 for Juanma for every new person that sees this beautiful show. Hey, we love you all, you guys. Love all you guys. Yeah, obviously homo.
Oh
Obviously
my
homo.
God! And very well read, Wamba. Very well read, Wamba. What a comment! Where is that one? Where is that one? Yeah, Paulo Marquez. SBR should give $10 for Jim, 10 for Pete, and 10 for Wamba for every new person that sees this beautiful show. I completely agree with you, Paulo Marquez. Listen up, SBR ownership. I want fucking $10 for everyone who sees this beautiful show, and so does Jim, and so does Wamba. That's $30 per show for every new viewer who sees this beautiful show. Thank you so much, Paulo Marquez.
Oh man, I don't see obviously homo anywhere though. Juan. I'm trying to find it, and that might have been an addition that.
No, that was from me. I was saying that we love all these guys. Yeah, for these beautiful comments. Man. I was really happy.
Juanma ad-libbing very, very well. All right, let's see. Elio Rodriguez says there's magic in San Francisco right now.
Well, I mean, they're 4-4, right? Aren't they just 4-4?
Kobe Valentine says, I want Wamba to be the voice on my GPS. I'm sure that could be arranged for the right price, Cody Valentine, right?
Yeah,
We'll pimp out Wamba's voice, right? For the right price. You know what I'm saying? What do you think, Jim? I'm taking the under. I'm taking the second half under. And Hako Schofield is getting suckered into taking the Arizona with that line. It is tempting. Godley's great.
Godley's great. It was a very impressive start. It was a mature start. Not trying to blow teams, because he's got the nasty curveball that he gets most of his strikeouts with.
Elio Rodriguez says there's magic in San Fran right now. Is that true?
I don't know. All I know is that if you score 2 runs in a 4-game series against the Dodgers and come out tied 2-2, you have a really good baseball team.
Yes, yes.
I know it sounds like you have a shit baseball team because you only got 2 runs, but it's not that way. It's like the Indians going 4-5, hitting 169. I mean, to me, that's a sign of a great baseball team moving forward.
Yeah.
But I don't know at this point if really you can say there's magic there. I like the roster moves, but they're veterans who aren't necessarily going to have career seasons.
Mr. Gokster 99, agree, Pete. Arizona, San Francisco under, and Flipper 13. Guy who's been around the block a couple times, knows what the hell he's doing, says, I took the Giants. Still okay at plus 108 or better. There you go. CC Fitness says, I think the Arizona game goes over. And Frank Rizzo says, this show is my best 2 hours of the fucking day. Shout out, Frank fucking Rizzo. Thank you so much. That shit makes my fucking week. All these comments. And then Hans, oh my cock, says, ride the Diamondbacks till the fucking wheels fall off.
Yeah, this makes sense. I think if I was going to make a move, I would take Arizona first 5, but if I was going to do that, why wouldn't I just take them full game? I'm going to watch this game. I'm going to sit back and watch it. I think Holland is just going to be a little different than he was last year, and that takes the value away from it.
All right, well, that's it for MLB. People are itching for us to get to NBA, and we will. And I did make a decision, Jim. I'm going to go ahead. I'm fucking head with you, Jim. I am going to take the over in Houston, Minnesota. If Houston's bats light up, they could get that all on their own against Lynn, right? If Verlander is a little bit off, that game will go over. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the Houston game over 8 minus 102. Over 8 minus 102. That's the best line at Pinnacle. I'm going head to head with you, Jimmy the Bag.
Yeah, no, I like it. I also like veterans in these cold temperatures rather than 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds. I'm comfortable with the spot. I got an under 8.5. So
it's possible that you get a win and I get a push. Absolutely, and when line shopping in MLB totals, that will happen all the time. If you get the best line, you'll have and you go head to head with someone, they'll get a push, you'll get a win. That will happen all the time, Jim the Bag.
Twatty says, there is nothing that could happen in my life that would make me miss this show.
Oh, shit. All right, now I'm going to save these fucking comments. I'm saving these fucking comments. And then let's move on to NBA. Let's move on to NBA. Jimmy the Bag, a lot of interesting shit in the NBA. I think that we came to a pretty solid conclusion in the morning show that the Clippers game is a weird game. Dan Kelly, guy with a spreadsheet, went over his former spreadsheets, and it inspired him to take both the Knicks and the Clippers on the money lines. But I like the under in that game, and Jimmy the Bag decided that he liked the team total under at 108 for the Clippers, and I wound up taking that as well. And some other people in the comments section in the morning said that they agreed with that one, and I'm comfortable with that one. I did bet that one, Jimmy the Bag, so I gave Jimmy and I both gave the team total under 108 in New Orleans Clippers. I was thinking that Chicago might start off a little bit pissed off. Even I don't care how much they're tanking, they've got to be pissed off by the blowout against Brooklyn. So I took Chicago first quarter at +2.5. I was leaning to the under in OKC Miami, and Jim made some controversial plays. He did take Denver at -4.5. That line's gotten bet up even further since the morning. It's now up to 4.5 juiced or 5. King Rail, Portland expert, doesn't like it. He says Portland needs this game and they will win.
But I don't know why they need this game. It makes no sense to me. I mean, I looked at this game again in the afternoon. They have no need for this game. They just have to win the game on Wednesday. So I'm just, I'm not at all questioning King Rail at all. He's a great basketball capper and he knows this team very well. But I don't think they need this game at all. I think they just give this game to the Nuggets and keep rested. Lillard should not play more than 29, 32 minutes. They have no reason to do anything in this game.
Right. No, I'm sorry. Dan Kelly said not the Knicks, the Bulls. Did I say the Knicks? Yes, sorry about that. I didn't mean to say the Knicks. Dan Kelly said, apparently I said that he's taking the Knicks on the money line. No, he's taking the Bulls and the Clippers.
Yes.
Yes, the Bulls and the Clippers. Sorry if I misspoke there. All right. Jimmy the Bag also took Toronto -4.5 in the morning show and wanted to grab that line in anticipation and expectation that the line would go up. And you were damn right, Jimmy the Bag. It's now up to 6 market wide. The Greeks still hanging 5.5, but Jim got 4.5 in the morning show. Now it's up to 6. Very nicely done. And Jim also took a shot with Sacramento at +14.5, and that's actually moved a tick in your favor as well. It's now down to 14 market wide, no 14.5. So nice job there, Jimmy the Bag. And that was it for you for NBA, right?
That was it. The Raptors game was fortunate. I was expecting Reggie Jackson to not be available. It turns out that Andre Drummond is not available.
Okay.
So that was a very fortunate, lucky situation. But the main reason I was doing this, though, was so simple. Both teams are on the second half of back-to-backs, and it doesn't matter if the Raptors don't care about this game because the Pistons also don't care about this game, and we have the best depth in the whole NBA. Very, very simple play on my part here.
Okay, sounds good. Some funny jokes going back and forth between Tony Soprano and some other people like Tom. We don't have time to read all this shit. All right, so nice job. Jim took Toronto -4.5. That's now up to 5.5 or 6. Cleveland and New York. Do you have a play on this one, Jimmy the Bag?
I don't. We now know that Hardaway's not going to be in the lineup, and who's the other? They have another big. Cantor is not going to be in the lineup. It's I know people who are on the Knicks, and I just can't understand why. Yeah, they came out of nowhere to beat a Heat team, and it was a surprising game. But I just it's hard for me to trust this team. Now I'm taking the Kings at +14.5, and I don't see anyone saying that's a great move. So I don't know. It's always tough to take these double-digit dogs late in the season. You never know if the effort's going to be there or not. So it's always a tricky kind of a risky.
And a lot of times when they cover, they wind up like winning outright. Yeah, you see that a lot. I think I'm pretty much done with betting the Cavs regular season. But what do you think about the under, Jim? I mean, I've gotten so burned taking the Cavs in the spreads, in the friggin' totals, even in the first quarter. It seems like I'm on the wrong side every time. So I'm not going to touch this game. But what about a shot with the under? You think Cleveland's going to run up the score here? They might. This Cleveland team has destroyed me this year. Yeah. A better read, I guess, over the last 6 or 7 weeks, but I would just started off the year not understanding when they were going to put up 130 points and when they were going to put up 95 points, and I'm afraid to mess with it right now. Yeah. The Cavs have been playing better defense before they got lit up by the Sixers. Yeah. They had allowed an average of 102 points per game and then got completely lit up by the Sixers team. I'm not going to touch a total here. Do you have a move on the total? No, I'm going to pass. I finally grew a little bit of balls, Jim, and I decided to never bet the Cavs again until the playoffs. That's it. I'm done. It's over. Yeah. No more Cavs bets for me at all until the playoffs, Jim.
Yeah, I get it. I can understand it.
All right. Chicago, Brooklyn. Interestingly, that line has taken a move. Is someone out for Brooklyn? Because it's now down to a 6.5 or 7. I took Chicago on the first quarter +2.5. That's nice to see. Is anyone out for Brooklyn?
I'm finding out right now.
I don't know. I don't think so. That might just be a money there. OKC Miami. I was definitely leaning under on that one, and that line is right where it was in the morning show. It's up to 213 at a bookmaker, but I was definitely leaning under there. Miami, of course, got gashed defensively in their last game, and I'm thinking maybe they'll try to be at least a little bit better here. OKC does need this game, which means they'll probably try to play a decent defensive game in their own right. And I believe they played recently, and the game was modest scoring, and I'm thinking that the under might be another good play here, Jim.
It just might. It just might be a good play. Now, in that game when the Knicks destroyed the Heat, I had the full game under and took a loss. I don't know. This Heat team is starting to remind me of this Cavs team.
Yes.
I don't know when they're gonna try defensively and when they're not. And when they're gonna. I'm comfortable with the plays I have right now, and I've got no totals at this point.
Okay, all right. I'm leaning under. I'm not sure if I want to make a play on that one. Let's move on. Memphis and Minnesota. You have a play on that one?
Oh man, the Greek Freak is ruled out. Ooh, that's because I knew a bunch of people that were. Rodney Hood is out too against the Knicks. Don't know if we knew that was happening already, but wow, that's a big Antetokounmpo out of the lineup. Wow.
All right, I didn't look too in depth into the 4 games that didn't have overnight lines, so I'm not going to have a play on any of those. Memphis, Minnesota, Orlando, Milwaukee, Sacramento, Antonio. Again, Jim did take a Sacramento at plus 14.5. That's now down to 14. Portland, Denver. Jim took Denver at minus 4.5, and that has moved up a little bit since the morning show. I would have a lean to the under on that one. And then the Clippers, New Orleans game. Jim and I both took the Clippers team total under, and I think I would still have a lean to the Clippers at plus 9 at the Greek, and a lean to the under, even though that line has taken a huge dip down. Again, on the overnight lines, I bet the Clippers at plus 6.5, which is obviously a shitty line, but I also bet the under at 228.5, which is obviously a great line. And I'm just going to ride with both. Again, I feel like the Clippers either win outright or they lose by 20.
Yeah, I came very close to making a play here on the Pelicans when I came in today, and I guess when Dan Kelly likes the Clippers on the money line, it just makes you stop and put the halt in all your thinking. Now, I still made the team total under, but as you guys know, Bet365 doesn't allow you to do team total overs, unders. So I all I have is an official pick right now. I don't even have a bet on this game.
Here you go. White Guy Video Game says Sportsbet had a great quote from McCollum. Basically said he doesn't care if Portland gets the 3 seed or not. And my assumption is that all these NBA players, I mean, I'm not even saying they don't want to win a championship or go deep in the playoffs. They do. But I think that they know that, putting too fine a point on it, like the 3 seed, the 4 seed, the 2 seed, the 5 seed. I guess the 5 seed is different because you get a first round bye. But I'm not surprised by that, Jim.
Well, I guess the thinking, too, is Steph will be back. I mean, is the Rockets that much tougher of a matchup than the Warriors? And it's give or take. I can understand that as well. But, I mean, the Blazers lose this game, beat Utah on Wednesday, and they get the 3 seed.
Yeah. So it's certainly an interesting game. Let's get to some comments here. King Rail likes the Cavs first quarter, the Grizzlies first quarter, OKC first quarter, and under 56 first quarter from the Bulls. There you go. Some plays from King Rail. And Ziggy Balls likes the Magic plus 11.5 and the Kings plus 14. Very nice. Hans Oh My Cock says the Memphis line is crazy, leaning Memphis. Frankie Rizzo likes New Orleans on the first quarter. Okay, let's see what else and he's leaning Knicks first quarter and on the half as well. And a lot of people are suggesting that the under might be a good play in the Knicks game. Let me see. Where the hell is it? Yep. Scotty Rock Forever likes the under 222.5 in the Cavs game. Andrea Ayako says Knicks play no defense over. And Moki Balls says Cavs over. And let's see. Nasty Nate says hit the fucking like button. And so did Antoine Seymour say that earlier. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Antoine Seymour and Nasty Nate, for imploring people to hit the like button. Let's see. Other comments that are coming in. A lot of people were suggesting that the under might actually be a good play in the Knicks game. Although I'd say about half the people are also saying that they like the over. Knicks play no defense.
Yeah. Interesting. The Orlando Bucks line's been wild today. It was going up to 11.5, and then when Antetokounmpo was announced not to be there, I thought, wow, I would expect it to go to single digits, and it's still not. You can still get a 10.5. I guess no, almost not now. They're almost all gone, but that surprises me. I would think with the Greek Freak out of the lineup that Orlando would. But Michael Alfaro says Milwaukee Bucks tonight. I guess they want to prove that they can do it without their leader. But God, don't you think that Orlando double digits without the Greek Freak is a play?
Yeah. It would make some sense. I mean, Orlando's a terrible team, but that's a lot of points. What do you think about the Knicks team total under at 105? You think the Cavs are going to play any D? Who can score for the Knicks?
Well, no. I mean, is Beasley even in the lineup? Like, I'd have to look. Let me double check what's going on with them. But
Knicks team total under is worth a thought, right, Jim?
I don't know. It's not worth a thought to me. I cannot trust that Cavs team to play defense or
against
to try.
Anyone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, until the playoffs start. Let's see. Yeah, Beasley will be hitting the line. You know, Kyle O'Quinn's playing good D. I love having Kyle O'Quinn playing 35 minutes if I'm on an under. I love him. He's a perfect guy for to slow the pace down and to get boards and to clog the paint. I think that I should take Orlando with double digits here. I don't see why I wouldn't. It doesn't.
You want to do it, Jim?
Yes, I do.
You want it? Okay, here we go. Orlando. Best line I'm seeing right now. Heritage plus 10.5 minus 110. Plus 10.5 minus 110. Let me just quickly confirm that is not a stale line because yes, it is a stale line. I'm sorry, Jim.
Okay,
it's going to have to be 10. We're going to have to give you 10 minus 10. Let me see if that's a stale line. Wow. Yeah, 10. Actually, we could give you 10.5 minus 123. Why don't we just give you the pinnacle line? 10 minus 105. How about that?
That sounds great.
Orlando plus 10 minus 105. And you know what? I think I might go back on my pledge not to take any Cavs games. I think I'm leaning under, and I think I'm leaning Knicks team total under.
Sorry, Isamo was saying that Bet365 does have team totals in NBA. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. What was your question?
I think I'm going to go back on my pledge to not bet any Cavs games and take the under and the full game under. I mean, the Knicks team total under and the full game under. You like Kyle O'Quinn if you're leaning unders?
I do. I like him in the lineup quite a bit.
What do you think, Jim? Should I do it?
I'm afraid. I'm just like you. I'm very afraid.
Okay. And what do you think about the under in Portland, Denver?
Yeah, there's team totals here now. They were taking these away.
Under in Portland, Denver, Jim.
What's the line at right now?
About 219.5, 220.
Yeah, it's just like the other teams. Denver scares me. Denver is a team that
you don't exactly know what you're going to get from them.
No, and especially at home because they have no problem putting up 130 points when the pace is fast.
Yes, I hear you, Jim. And what do you think about taking the Clippers at plus 9?
I wouldn't. I'm comfortable getting off that game when Dan says take the money line, but I don't see who's going to be trying with this Clippers team. And then if we just go down their depth chart right now, just take a quick look at who we can count on. Austin Rivers will not play. Lou Williams will not play, so we knew that from the early show. So you're going to need the bigs to get rolling, and you're the bigs, so you're going to need DeAndre Jordan and Tobias Harris, but they're not going to get any easy buckets because they're going to have Tyrone Wallace, C.J. Williams, Sindarius Thornwell, and they're not going to be able to put them in easy bucket situations. So I do think that team total under is the play. Bet365 is offering it at 107.5 here.
We already gave that officially, and I'm going to take the full game under, 224 minus 103. I bet that one at 228.5, and I will give it as an official play right now at Pinnacle, 224 minus 103. I will throw on the under in New Orleans Clippers, and I guess that's about it. So once again, Jim's on Toronto minus 4.5. Nice play there. Cavs New York is going to be a pass for us. I'm on the Bulls first quarter plus 2.5. OKC and Miami, you have nothing on that one. I have nothing on that one. I do have a lean to the under though. Memphis, Minnesota is going to be a pass for both of us. Orlando, Jim did wind up taking Orlando plus 10 minus 102. Sacramento, San Antonio, Jim did take Sacramento plus 14.5. Portland and Denver, Jim took Denver minus 4.5, and for me the under would be a lean. And New Orleans Clippers, we both took the Clippers team total under 108, and I threw on the full game under 224 just now. Did I miss anything, Jim?
No, that sounds like everything. Seriously thinking that New Orleans is going to score 150 tonight.
Yeah.
Christopher Carter saying Lou Williams is their whole damn offense. Rich Banks saying, I'm not betting today, but I think fading the Clips is a great idea.
I don't know if the Pelicans get this one in the bag, I'm not sure if they're going to roll it up. Although I've definitely gotten burned on some of these. You remember the last game where I gave the birthday pick involving the Pelicans, looking great until the fourth quarter. They put up 70 fucking points in the fourth quarter. Did you see that one?
I did, yeah, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what they fucking do. There's a few teams like that in the NBA that will just completely destroy your totals, and it goes both ways. Like I got the 79-point opening quarter with the Raptors on an over, and against the Magic, and the Magic just stopped playing.
Yeah.
And it didn't even go over. The game didn't even go over. It's it's the totals are always going to be tricky in the NBA, and you can't trust it until the fucking last second. Yeah,
I hear you. All right, well, that's it for NBA. Now let's just quickly touch on NHL. Just continue on what we were discussing in the morning show. I did make one bet on a Thursday NHL game, and it was the under 6 in which one was it? I think it was the Colorado Nashville game. We know that Colorado has problems scoring, right?
Yes, we know that the right team will be able to shut down that line as much as possible because they have no secondary scoring. So that first line is big, fast, young, extremely dangerous, very difficult.
Yeah, so I did take, let me just see what line I got here. Yeah, I took the Colorado Nashville under 6 minus 118 in the first game. How do you feel about that, Jim?
I'm not, some of these totals, I'm not, you need just to see the flow of the series and how it's going. I think Nashville rolls 4 lines and 30-second shifts and dump and chases. So my initial feeling is that the under is a very good spot for you to be in. That's my initial feeling. Yeah. But the problem with it is that Bernier is not somebody I trust.
Right.
But for flow of the game, it makes sense for Nashville to use their depth against Colorado and just 30-second shifts, 25-second shifts, dump and chase.
Jim fucking knows NHL. I looked at all the game 1 lines, and that was the only bet that I've made so far. Under 6 minus 118 in Nashville, Colorado. The other games are very interesting. I agree. It's you want to take it a little bit careful because you don't exactly know how things are going to turn out. There's a lot of surprises that can happen. Teams can turn a corner seemingly on a dime in the playoffs.
I mean, what we saw last year with Nashville sweeping Chicago has to be remembered by all of us. We have to take it in consideration. Nashville made it into the playoffs with the very last second, and then they took out Chicago like it was nothing and ran to the Stanley Cup final. So it's important for us to take a look who could be that team that gets together and makes a run. And for me, it's so simple. It's look at the last 10 to 15 games to me, and the Ducks are the team that I think could just roll. Now, the Sharks are not easy competition, but I do think that coming out of the Pacific Division is much, much easier than coming out of the Central.
Okay, here we go. Some comments coming in. Let me see. White Guy Video Games likes Nashville minus 1.5 games prop. That's nice. He thinks he's going to roll. We are going to discuss the specific series results a little bit more tomorrow, Jim, and on Wednesday maybe. David Stewart says the Knicks are balling right now. Be careful. All in caps. I live in New York and watch their games. These rookies are balling.
Man, the guys like David Stewart who watch their team like King Rail with the Blazers, they're guys you had listened to. You need to listen to.
The Knicks are balling. They might be a good bet tonight. What do you think, Jim?
I was confused at what happened against Miami, and when I'm confused, I don't just make a bet on the next game. I need to sit back and figure shit out.
Very nice. G-Man Hag says, all teams will start the first game. Dump and chase will settle in the second periods. Would take lots of first period unders in first games. This is for Pete. Yes, I do take a lot of first period unders in general in the playoffs, and especially in game 1s. Let's see. Mally Mal says, Orlando. Great pick. Nice job, Jimmy the Bag. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. What else do we have here? I guess that's about it, Jim.
That's about it. Every day of this week is going to get more and more and more exciting as we get to the playoffs in the NHL, get to the end of the season, NBA, into the playoffs in NBA. This is a very exciting time of year, and I'm ready to get that cash. Hope to get off to a good start today because last week was just a fucking mess. And I like it. I like where we stand.
Oh, Michael L. Ferris says Milwaukee Bucks tonight. That's interesting with no Greek Freak. Maybe they do roll. Christopher Carter says that Cavs game maybe a Globetrotter game and go way over. No D at all. Yes, especially when the Cavs sometimes go into the Garden. It's just like, especially at this time of year, let's just have an exhibition game and, put up 280 points. I could certainly see that one. All right, that wraps up the show, Jim.
That wraps it up. Frank Rizzo with one last thing saying, I'm telling you, Knicks first quarter and half. That'll be a very interesting thing for us to look back at tomorrow.
Yes, it definitely will. We'll see y'all tomorrow, 12 o'clock Eastern time.